I don't think anything summarizes Battlefield 5's marketing better than this. A data mine has revealed way more information about Firestorm than any official post, trailer, or announcement to date, and I'm not exaggerating here. I haven't personally confirmed any of these claims for myself yet, but the wording of this post makes me believe that it is in fact legitimate. So let's talk details, and oh man do we have a lot. 100% credit goes to Reddit user Temporal, as he has compiled this post on the Battlefield 5 subreddit, and there's a link in the description and in the comment section to this post for you to read for yourself. Basically, he found a few code snippets that seemed a little bit off and referenced Firestorm, and he started pulling at the different ends of this ball of yarn looking for anything that mentioned Firestorm, and then he tried to piece everything together. As always, take all of this information with a pinch of salt, as even though what he found may be 100% legit, the final product is not released yet and things can always change. The first thing that he gives is the official description of Firestorm, and this is probably what we'll see on the splash screen. It sounds exactly like something Lars Gustafsson would say, and it reads, "Do whatever it takes to survive. Compete solo or in a team to be the last one standing in a vast and dangerous world. Scavenge for supplies, outrun the Firestorm, and fight your way to victory." Temporal then breaks down his post into several key areas, and I'm going to follow his format. First up is the overall info and game mode stuff. There will be 3 different ways to play Firestorm: solo, duos, and squads, with a maximum of 64 players per match. Solos is something that we've seen a lot of people request for Apex Legends, and for how team-oriented Battlefield is, I was not expecting it. It's a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Another surprise is something that I was actually a little bit curious about: classes. You will apparently be able to choose your class before loading into a match, and while we don't know how they will be different from one another, they may have different abilities on the battlefield. The files also make reference to a matchmaking system as well as a ranking system. Now, he doesn't clarify if by ranking system he means your level or if he means a skill rank, something that will help keep players of similar skill in a match together. Think either Rainbow Six Siege tiers or League of Legends, what have you. If it is the latter, then this could be the first Battle Royale that I am aware of to implement such a system and could serve as the basis for a competitive scene. Next is the confirmation on how we enter the battlefield, and it's going to be an airdrop from a C-47, as the files make reference to the pair-drop scene. Your character will also have an altimeter on your wrist when you drop, letting you gauge when you want to pull your parachute. I'm curious to know if we will be able to control our direction and speed during the freefall. I can't imagine not being able to, but it's just not something that we can do in Battlefield 5 at the moment. Again, we're going to have to wait and see. Next section revolves around gameplay. Most of the key features of the BR are here, including the down state where you can crawl around after you've been wounded, third-person cameras when you were dropping out of the airplane and when you were downed, and you get an inventory to store your loot, and you can have different tiers of backpacks and loot, 3 tiers of backpacks and 4 tiers of loot. An interesting few snippets also talk about objectives that will be on the map that teams can fight over. These objectives will be placed on random spots on the maps and can have resupply stations, safes which probably hold high tier loot or blueprints, and the objective can also have what are called lockups and vehicle breakouts. What it sounds like is high power weapons for the lockups and vehicles for the vehicle breakouts, and you will need to spend some time to unlock these, so it's kind of a risk reward situation, and you and your squad will need to decide what you want to do. Moving over to weapons, they are categorized into 4 different tiers, with 1 being the basic weapons and 4 being the best. It's also possible that we may see some sort of a tier 0 weapon, which will likely just be your starting out melee weapon, if that is what it actually is. In total, there are 6 different types of weapons: LMGs, pistols, rifles, shotguns, SMGs, and snipers, with each type having its own weapon and ammunition. Another interesting tidbit regarding weapons is that specializations will actually be present in Firestorm. I'm not sure how these are going to come into play, but what I think it might be is that the tier of the weapon will determine how many specializations you can have unlocked for that weapon. So a tier 4 weapon will have 4 specializations, while a tier 1 would only have 1. Moving over to health and armor, we will be able to find and use small and big health packs, and there are 3 tiers of armor vests that you can equip. Also included in the files is an armor plate, which is probably taking on the role of a shield cell to replenish your armor if it is damaged. Next up on the list is vehicles, and so far the files only list the Tiger and Valentine as possible tanks. Transports will include the half-track, Kubelwagen, Kettenkrad, and the tractor, and all of these vehicles, including the tanks, will use fuel, meaning that you can't use them forever. Tanks will also probably have a limited ammunition stock to keep them from being too overpowered. Now, a few minutes ago, I mentioned something called blueprints. So what are these all about? To be honest, I really don't know how exactly these are going to function, but they seem to be related to several different vehicles, including a staff car, a sports car, the Schwimmwagen, a pickup truck, the tractor, and a helicopter. Oh yeah, so here's how I think this system is going to work. Each one of these special vehicles are faster than the stock vehicles on the map and will offer some other benefit. To balance this, you're going to need to find a set number of blueprints, and then you can spawn one of these vehicles and use it as a transport for a limited time. And although this is pure speculation, I'm willing to put money down on the idea that the helicopter will either be the FA-223 Drachen or the Flettner 282 Colibri. Both were built in 1941, so they are actually thematically appropriate. The next section could be concerning depending on how DICE and Criterion have balanced it, and that's the use of reinforcements in Firestorm. Yeah, you will be able to unlock and call in an artillery strike, a vehicle, something called Danger Zone. No, I don't think it's Kenny Loggins, I actually think it's related to where the next fire circle will be placed. You'll be able to call in a supply drop to restock on health and ammo, a strafing run by an AI-controlled Stuka, and a V1. Obviously, these will need to be monitored and balanced carefully. Thankfully, a simple way that this can be done to help balance things is by simply telegraphing the strike area on the minimap for all the other teams to see. That, coupled with audio and visual cues, can help warn players that danger is about to hit them in the face hard. The last section of this post details some of the different stats that will be tracked independently in Firestorm. And we may see a banner function similar to Apex Legends, and I would absolutely love this. The banner would allow you to showcase your skills, kills, and everything. On screen now is a list of all the stats that he could find that are referenced, and I really like this feature from Apex, and I really do hope that we are getting something similar. And if this is true, you would better believe that I'm going to be trying to get on the leaderboards for road kills with the tractor. And I'll always be singing some Johnny Cash the entire time. And that's it. Wow. That right there in one Reddit post is more information regarding Firestorm than we have received in total since the reveal of its existence almost 9 months ago. I'm not sure what's going on at DICE and EA, but you know what? I'm actually excited for this. I was extremely reserved about the idea of a Battlefield BR, mainly because I've never really played a BR that I've enjoyed before Apex came out. But this actually looks like a product that I can see myself playing a lot. All that remains to see is how the actual final product looks. I do have some concerns regarding the netcode of Firestorm, as even the base game of Battlefield 5 is still suffering some netcode and TTD issues. But as long as it doesn't get any worse, it's still going to be better than both Blackout and Apex. Now, I absolutely want to hear from you. What do you guys think about all the information that we just covered? Are you concerned? Hyped? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. Firestorm will be coming out right at the end of the month, so we are about 3 weeks out at most. It's going to be a wild ride, that's for sure. Thank you guys for watching, and thank every single one of you for the 2,000 subscriber milestone. This has been an insane last few months. It's only going to get crazier. My name is Shadox, and I hope to see you on the battlefield.